As 2024 comes to a close, I had to reflect on my bookshelves and decide which books I'm going to unhaul, what am I going to keep, what books do I need to read before I unhaul them. So I have a list for you of books that I wanted to unhaul but ended up keeping because we're going to try it before we either unhaul it or keep it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, like I said, I have a list for you of books that I either need to try because I don't know if I want to unhaul them or keep them. I was kind of on the fence about it whenever I was going through my bookshelves and I just did a massive unhaul, and these books were in the maybe pile. Like, I didn't want to keep them, but I also didn't want to unhaul them because I thought maybe I would like them for one reason or another. So we're just going to go through that today. Before we get into the video, just make sure that you always like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and I would love to keep you here and have you join our community. Also, make sure that you check my description box below for all of my links to my socials, my Pango Books account, which has books still there from my unhaul, and then also my Bookish Box Ambassador website, where you can shop the entire Bookish Box website and get a 10% off discount code using the code whenever you use my link below. Just like this shirt, it says "To the Stars That Listen," and it is from Bookish Box that I got during their Black Friday sale, so make sure that you hit that as well. Alright, so there is not really an order to these books at all. I don't even know what some of them are about, to be honest. Either I've recently gotten them from book boxes, I've hauled them from thrifting or something or another. So we're just going to go through the ones that I need to read them or just unhaul them. So I guess this will be my unofficial list of books that I need to read or unhaul in 2025. The first one we have, you would probably see from my unhaul video that I just posted before this one, Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. I was going to be unhauling this, and then as I was talking it through with everyone, I decided to keep it because it says that it's about fairies and that it's riveting and dark. I know that it's made by Harper Teen, so I'm pretty sure that this is a YA, and it was made back in 2007, so I don't think that this is going to be your new YA that we have nowadays, where it's kind of spicy but yet still considered YA. I think this is going to be an actual traditional one, which I'm okay with, but I've had this on my shelf for so long. I need to try to read it. I don't even know if I'm going to like it, to be honest with you, but I just could not let it go. So let me know in the comments below if this book or any others that you see are ones that I should prioritize and you think that I would enjoy them, because I'm always reading my comments and responding to you guys. The next one is Forevermore by Cindy Miles. This is actually a pretty quick read. It looks like it says a haunted castle, a forbidden love. I mean, you can definitely tell that this was made quite a while ago. What year did this come out? 2013. So on here, I think that this girl ends up going to a castle or inheriting a castle, and then I think there is a ghost there that she falls in love with, possibly, if I remember correctly. I don't know. For some reason, I don't like the cover, but I just can't unhaul it without even reading it. I don't know. Some books just speak to me, I guess. I don't know. I also have, is this the fairy? Oh, this is the Illumicrate edition of Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I have had this since Illumicrate came out with this like 2 years ago, possibly, and I have not gravitated towards it, to be honest with you. I haven't read a single Olivia Blake book, and I do believe I still have One for My Enemy on my shelf, and I just need to get to it. This one I am the least hopeful on liking. I think One for My Enemy I'm going to like a little bit more, possibly just from, you know, the synopsis and what I've seen of reviews from other booktubers that I follow. This one is kind of up in the air. I really don't know much about it at all. It just says, in a Chicago art gallery, two people meet by chance. I'm not sure what that means. I really need to give it a try, but this book is gorgeous. So hopefully I read it in 2025. If not, I am just going to be unhauling it. We then have the probably smut edition of The Wallflower by Sally Louise, and this just doesn't look like my vibe at all. I mean, it is very retro. It's very 60s, but every time I go to look into this, I hear that it is spicy and possibly even dark. I don't know. I mean, that's definitely not giving it to me from the cover. I just don't think this is going to be my type of vibe, but we'll see. If you watched my November wrap-up, you know that I had read this arc, and it is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. This is the Owl Crate edition. It's absolutely beautiful. I wanted to keep it because of the aesthetic and everything, but whenever I read the arc, it was not good. I just was not into the story. I felt like the writing was off. I felt like that the pacing and just the dialect in general wasn't vibing with me. I'm going to try to give this a second try. I really, really love this edition. I really want to keep it, but I don't want to keep a book that I really don't enjoy. So I'm going to give it another try. Sometimes it can be right book, wrong time. We'll see. And then I have the Moonlight Book Box, A Warrior's Fate by Melissa Kieran. This is about the wolves of Moray. Now, you guys know, if you have been a watcher of my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not really into wolf shifter stories. I really just, for some reason, I can't vibe with them. I will read them, but they're not ever a 5-star for me. However, this one has caught my attention, so I am going to give it a try before I unhaul it. I don't want to write off all wolf shifter stories, but this one really caught my attention, so I'm hoping that I at least get to this in 2025 to see if it's just certain wolf shifter stories or if it's just all of them. I have 2 special editions of this book, and that is A Court of Nightmares by K.A. Knight. This one is from Bookish Box. It's absolutely beautiful. This one is from Fabled, and it is beautiful as well. However, I have never read this story. I have seen mixed reviews about it. I know that it is, I believe, a wide choose, and I know that it is very, very spicy. So I've never read anything from K.A. Knight, and I'm going to see if I like it. If not, it's just 2 books off of my shelf that made room. I definitely need to prioritize some book box books in 2025. I also have the Page and Wick edition of The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. This is a stunning edition. However, I have never read it. I didn't want to get rid of it because it's a beautiful edition. However, I know that this is an epic fantasy, and I think, is it Chinese or Japanese? It's an Asian inspired epic fantasy, and I have realized over 2024 that I don't like every epic fantasy. I like specific epic fantasies if they're written well, if the story goes well, the characters, you know, really seem like they can be a real cast of characters. I'm going to give this a try. I really want to like it because I know that everyone says that it is an amazing epic fantasy, and it is a standalone, which in epic fantasy you really don't get that very often. So I at least want to give her the chance. The next one is from Fabled, and it is Demons and Roses by Becca Westrup. This book is beautiful. The quote on the back is what made me think that maybe I should unhaul this because it may be a little too dark for my liking. I'm not sure, but it says, "Look at the bouquet of flesh I've gathered for you, my bride. We will feed on their rotten souls together." I'm not really sure what this book is about, but I guess I'm going to give it a try before I get rid of it. The next one is also from Fabled, and that is Stars Ascending by Heather Smith. Another gorgeous addition, but I have never heard of this book. I don't even think I've seen anyone talking about it or reviews from other booktubers that I tend to follow. So I'm a little leery on if I'm gonna like this or not, but it's so beautiful. I didn't want to just unhaul it. I wanted to at least give it a shot because if I like it, I want to keep all of the pretty additions. The next one is also from Fabled, and this is Ecstasy Unbound by Seta J. It's Guardians of the Realms, probably book 1, possibly. I think this might be a paranormal romance more than just a fantasy romance, just from what I've seen of the synopsis and what other people are talking about. I thought, you know what, I might as well give it a try, see if I like it. I don't need to start another series. But you never know. Sometimes you can find your favorites, and I just didn't want to get rid of it without trying. I had picked up quite a few books from Book Outlet, and I've already unhauled a lot of them that I've either already read or that just sat for so long. This is another one, and is Heart of the Impaler by Alexander Delacroix. I know that this is, I think, a Vlad retelling. Yeah. And I don't think it's about Dracula, possibly, or maybe it is. Who knows? I bought this so long ago. I really need to give it a try. However, I think this is book 1 in a series. And again, I don't need to start another series. I figured, you know what? I picked it up for a reason, and we need to see what that reason is. The next one I also got from Book Outlet, and it is called Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston. This was just a cover buy. Straight cover buy. It just says you can have a heartbeat and still be dead. I don't know what that means. I really want to try it because just the vibes of the cover and the guy being up here, her being down here. Obviously it's a romance, but I really want to see what it's about, and it won an award, so that means it must be good, and I just couldn't get rid of it, but I didn't want to leave it on my shelves because I haven't read it, and I don't think that I would read it unless I forced myself. The next one is from Fairy Loot's Romantasy book box, and it is A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTurnan. This is a beautiful edition, you guys, but guess what? It's about wolves, for one, so that has it going against me. And I have heard some not so good reviews, and I think on Goodreads, which I really don't go by the Goodreads rating anyway, but it is an extremely low rating. So I don't know why people are not liking this book. We're just gonna try, okay? Like I said, I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to at least give Wolf Shifter romances a try. Here's another one on the list that I hope I get to. And then from Bookish Box, I have The Hollow Plane by Alison Carr Wachter. This is another beautiful edition, but I really haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. And again, it is one of the books that I didn't want to unhaul because it's so pretty, but I haven't read it and I haven't even gravitated towards it. And it's book 1 in a duology, so that's not terrible. I just need to give it a try before I unhaul it. And I think the pre-order for the second and final book in this duology is coming up soon from Bookish Box, so maybe I can prioritize this, possibly. And then a book I got from Owl Crate ages ago. I mean, years ago. I wish I could see what month this came in because it has been a very long time that it has sat on my shelves. I mean, I say a long time, and this came out in 2022, so clearly I don't know time. But this is A Forgery of Roses by Jessica Olsen. I got this from Owl Crate, and it's one of their, earlier versions, so there isn't a whole lot of customizations. But I've never gravitated towards this at all. Such beauty, those roses blooming in the cold. My eyes catch on a faint glint in the shadow, and I squint to see what it is. A thorn, sharp as a needle, as long as my forefinger. Nothing is as it seems, ever. I'm not really sure what this is about at all. Again, I didn't want to get rid of it because I'm really attracted to the cover of it, but I've had it for over 2 years and I've never picked it up. And then from the Fairy Loot YA box from earlier this year, they had done A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. It is a beautiful edition. However, here is my conundrum. I have read 2 books by Allison Saft. I've read When the Night Goes Down, something like that. And then there was another Allison Saft book that I read. And both of them, Down Comes the Night is the first one I read. And I can't remember what the second one is that I read. And both of them are ones that I really didn't enjoy. I wasn't vibing with the story the way that, you know, it was so lyrical and so prose filled that I couldn't really get into the story. I felt like it was more of like a magical read, more of a fluffy, you know, we're just going to be whimsical type read. And I just don't know if I vibe with her writing. So I need to give her one last final shot. So this already has something going against it, but it's a beautiful edition. I love the reverse dust jacket art. I love everything about it. And I'm always willing to give authors another shot because you never know which book will hit for you. You will not like every book an author comes out with. So I'm going to try to give it another shot. All right, everyone, those are all of the books that I am hoping to read in 2025 to decide if I want to keep them or just unhaul them. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like I could end up keeping a few of them, but I feel like a lot of them are going to be DNFs or ones that I unhaul because they weren't, you know, a 4 or a 5-star read or something that I'd want to keep on my shelf. That's why they're in this pile. That's why I've never gravitated towards them, because I kind of know my reading tastes, and I don't think that the majority of these are ones that I'm going to overly enjoy, but I want to give them a shot because you never know. Some of my most favorite and loved books came from randomly requesting them on NetGalley because I was like, oh, this sounds good, not even knowing anything about it. Or books that are sent to me in book boxes that I actually prioritize and didn't think I would like it, and I end up, you know, having a shrine of the author. It's one of the two. So we're going to give them a try. We'll come back next year and see how I did. Hopefully I do well. I don't know. We'll just see how the year goes. But if you guys liked this video, please always leave me comments below on what your thoughts are or any books that I need to prioritize from what you have seen. And then if you don't want to leave a comment, but at least let me know that you are here, leave me a rose emoji just so I know that you are here and that you watched the video and maybe enjoyed it. Maybe there are some books in here that are your favorites that you want me to try. I cannot wait to hear from you all, but I will see you next time. Bye!